Today I'm gonna answer a question that a lot of people ask me. And the question is, how long did it take for me to find my very first deal? And if this is the first time you're visiting my channel, I make a lot of videos about real estate, money, and self-development, and I also just document my journey as a young real estate investor and entrepreneur. So be sure to subscribe to the channel and like this video for the YouTube algorithm. But here's how long it took. I'm gonna start with a story, and here's where it all started. For me, it started junior year of college. I was a junior, I think I was 20 or 19 at the time, and I was just learning through podcasts, specifically a podcast called Bigger Pockets. And I listened to this podcast for hours a day, like literally hours, through whether I was working at my jobs or just having headphones in, or during classes even, or just when I was driving. I turned my car into a literal mobile university. And that's where I learned the most, from those podcasts, anytime I listened, not from my actual classes. And I graduated as a finance major. So I was learning, and I spent about a year doing that. I learned for a whole year just through podcasts. I was also like looking stuff up online on Google and other websites, but for the most part, a lot of my learning was just podcasts and just getting me familiarized with real estate investing. At that point, when I was a junior, I had no idea what it really was. I didn't understand it too much. And so the podcast helped me learn about it and just kind of gave me that idea that it was possible. Now, after about a year of learning about it as a junior, I then became a senior, and then I spent another year learning. Keep in mind, done 0 deals by this point, but I kept on learning through this podcast. And then senior year is when I started to take action. Senior year of college is when I reached out to anyone. I was on biggerpockets.com. And this isn't an ad for Bigger Pockets. This is exactly what I did. I typed in, I said, hey, I'm in Fresno, I'm trying to buy my first home. I don't know how to do it, I need help. And I just blasted that out there. And then a couple people reached out, very encouraging, but one in particular, he was a real estate agent. He just commented himself and he's like, hey, I'm an agent in the area, let's sit down for coffee. And we sat down for coffee. We met at a Cup of Joy in Clovis, and he told me exactly how to do it, how to buy a home. And so my first deal was actually with an agent. And so from that point, I got pre-approved with just a conventional lender, normal lender, and he started sending me deals to look at every single day. Now, most of the deals, like it should be, weren't deals, but there were a select few that I liked, and I offered on a lot of them. And for the ones that, weren't even deals by the listing price or what they're asking, I still offered. I just offered way below what they're asking, but I still offered. And I did this continuously for a year. My volume wasn't there. I was trying to make 1 offer a day, and that was a lot for me. Like, I had a lot going on at the time. I was a full-time college student, and at the same time, I was pretty much a full-time worker. Like, I worked 2 minimum wage jobs, essentially minimum wage, and I was a personal trainer on the side. So total all my hours a week of working, I was working well over 50 hours a week, plus I was a full-time college student. And so my goal was to make an offer a day, and I was doing roughly that. I wasn't perfect, but I offered for a good year, I think. I'm pretty sure it was a year of me offering on the deals that he would send me. I would drive around to look at these properties if I were ever close. And I got nothing for a long, long time. But eventually, and I didn't say this at the beginning, but at first I was looking for a multifamily. I was looking for a house hack. And if you're unfamiliar with the term house hack, a house hack is essentially something where you buy a home, whether it's a normal single family home, or if it's a multifamily, and you buy it, you live in one of the units or one of the rooms if it's a home, and you rent out the other units or the other bedrooms. And I was looking for a multiple unit. I was looking for a duplex, a triplex, or a quadplex at first, and all my offers on those, nothing hit. And eventually I ran into the single family home a year after searching, so a year after making offers continuously on the MLS. And it was just one that I thought, wow, like, their asking price and like what I would want for it kind of makes sense, like exactly what I would want. And I wanted to rent it right away for a single family. And so I said, okay, look, I've been looking for these multifamilies for a long time. They weren't working. Let me just start offering on some single families. And so this is one of the first single family homes I offered on. Yeah, because I was offering on just multifamily. And I got it. It was a shock to me. I was like, wow, I can't believe this is working. And after getting that under contract, I was, super excited. This is my first property getting on contract. But keep in mind, it took literally over a year of searching to get this. And not just talking about that year of me searching, but it took a year prior of me just learning and educating myself about real estate investing so that I was confident enough to do this and to make offers and to get something under contract. So to answer the question of how long it took me to buy my first home, it took me like 2 years. honestly. And a lot of people go faster at first and a lot of people go slower, but that was my starting point. That was my start. And I forgot to mention this, but before I even got that first deal, I was in contract with a multifamily home at first, with a triplex. And I don't think I shared this story a lot, but I was in contract with a triplex, so I offered on a triplex, a 3-unit home. It was accepted, and when I looked at the property, when I walked it, me being inexperienced and not knowing anything about rehabbing a home, I walked through the 3 different units and I thought, oh, you know, this might take $20,000 to fix up, just kind of my mind. When in reality, when I actually brought a contractor out to give me a bid for the place to get it to the condition of what I wanted it to be, he quoted me around, I think it was around like $75,000. And so I was like, crap. In my mind, I was like, well, this is an amazing deal. It's only gonna take 20 grand to fix up. And he comes in and telling me, hey, no, this is gonna take like 75, 80 if this is what you want. And that's what I would have wanted to get the property to a condition that I wanted. And I ended up backing out of that deal because it was just something I completely messed up on. I messed up on estimating the rehab, and I think I lost money on that because I paid for an inspection. So I think I lost like $450 on it, maybe more. I don't know if I paid for an appraisal at the time, but I lost money on it technically. Like I didn't buy it and lose money, but I lost money because of the inspection. And that was a learning experience for me. It made me realize, okay, like before I lock something up, I really have to understand all my numbers first. And I thought I did at the time, but in reality I didn't. And so for me, taking 2 years to get my first property, that's what it took for me. And it took that long for me because honestly, I didn't have someone I consistently went to for advice. I didn't have a coach or a mentor at the beginning. It was just me. It was just me, college me, looking at podcasts or listening to podcasts and doing my best. And I was learning, but as I was learning for the first year, I didn't take action. I just learned because I wasn't comfortable with it. And if you're in that position where you're not comfortable taking action, there are a couple things I will say to you. You might not be comfortable because you just aren't surrounded by the people who are crushing it. And because I promise you, if you surround yourself with the people who are crushing it and who are buying deals consistently, you will become more comfortable with doing it because it becomes normal to buy homes. But for someone like me at the time who didn't put myself in the position where I was around those people, it took me a long time to even start taking action because I was uncomfortable with it and I didn't believe in myself fully. But after hearing so many stories on a podcast about these ordinary people doing extraordinary things with real estate, I thought, yeah, this is possible. I know I can do it. And once that mindset shifted for me, when I really believed that I could do it, that's when I started taking action. But it wasn't until a year later. And so if you're in the position where it was kind of like me, where you don't have these people, try your best to find these people and surround yourself with these people and then take action as you learn. Because if I did that at the beginning, I would have been so much farther than I am today. So I hope this video brought value to you, and I hope you actually take action as you learn so it doesn't take you 2 years to find that first deal. But even if it does, just know that's okay. Everyone goes and moves at their own pace. And as long as you're progressing, you're doing just fine. Also, if you are a wholesaler anywhere in the US and you have a deal or a potential deal that you're trying to work on, but you're really unsure of how to handle it, reach out to me. I will happily help you. I'll happily either partner on you or just walk you through it. But I'm working and expanding my markets to pretty much work on anywhere in the US. And so if you want to partner on a deal, just DM me on Instagram. My username on Instagram is Justin You're Wrong. It'll be on the screen right here. But otherwise, see you the next one.